Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
I am Sanika.
And good morning, Belize. Thank you so much for being with us here on this lovely Monday morning. It's good to be back.
Yes, it's nice to have you here and sit with us once again as well.
Thank you, Isani. How was the weekend?
Wow, mine was pretty eventful. I attended a primary school reunion on Saturday.
We do primary school reunions?
30 years later.
30 years later of primary school.
I'm putting an age stamp on myself by saying that. No, but for me it was a great weekend. It was an equally great experience, you know, being able to catch up with some of my past classmates from childhood and to see how much we've grown personally, professionally, otherwise, you know, being able to catch up with people who you haven't seen in a while. You know, quite an experience.
How do you network with people that you knew when you were like 10 years old? I
always say this, right? Your building blocks begin when you're young.
Yes.
And so that's the reason why we have, in some instances, lifelong friendships, right? Mm-hmm. You meet someone, you're in primary school, and for whatever reason or the other, things are aligned in such a way where you go through primary, high school, perhaps sixth form together and what have you. And even if you don't go through all the way and people take, you know, divergent paths, the strength of those friendships, once they're cultivated properly, are still there. Because I could tell you, a lot of my childhood friends are individuals that I grew up with and came all the way up with. But in terms of the strength of some of those connections, I would say they were sort of galvanized in high school.
Yeah.
Because it's only 4 years, but those 4 years, when you look at it in a certain context, are the more meaningful, impactful, because you're going through a coming-of-age experience together.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I shouldn't ask because I still know a lot of people that I went to primary school with, and I still well acquainted with people.
Small.
It is, you know, it is. I talk about it like it's so, but look, I guess
April,
because
if you go to a community primary school or high school or what have you, the likelihood that you're going to encounter these people at some point in life is relatively high, considering the fact that you're coming from a particular area, a particular community or neighborhood. So,
well, I hope that was enjoyable.
I can't complain.
I don't know if I know I've never been to a reunion, but also
it's my second. I went to a high school reunion a couple of years ago, and that too was, you know, rather interesting.
I guess it would be nice to see, but also social media makes it easier now, right? That you kind of can catch up with what everybody has been up to for the past 10, 13 years.
30.
And so it's you don't, I don't know, maybe our viewers at home would feel a little bit differently, but I don't know if now we're so interested in doing these kinds of things because it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on WhatsApp, you know?
To be honest with you here, there's nothing like the physical experience of being in someone's presence, right? Yeah. Because admittedly, you could shoot a WhatsApp message, you're in a chat group and what have you. It doesn't feel the same as when you're gathered in one place, all of you, for a specific period of time, and everyone is, you know, working in the room, so to speak, catching up with, you know, past experiences as children and that kind of stuff. So when you look at it from that point of view, nothing beats being there in person.
That's very, very true. I will agree with that one. I had a very uneventful weekend. Finally, I got to
So
just
you had enough time to
sleep.
unwind and just sit
Not
and,
enough time, but just enough that I could wake up this morning
Yeah.
and be here and open your eyes.
Yeah.
But the train never really stops. It's you're always working, you're always going. So it's always nice to just sit back and
yeah.
relax for a little bit. But nevertheless, we do have to continue with our show for this morning, Isani. And of course, we continue our Monday mornings with our Eye on the News.
On Friday, we ran a story that has to do with public transportation and the decisions being made at the transport board level and how that affects bus owners, bus runs, and commuters, right? So we ran a news item where an application for permission to be granted by the High Court to review the decision of the Transport Board in respect of the road service permit not being renewed for Serrano's bus.
Yeah.
And while the attorney for the bus company has posited what they believe are strong points to indicate that, look, it warrants a proper review of that decision, you can't help but notice what appears to be a political backdrop, in a manner of speaking, where we're looking at the principals of a new bus company that has taken over those runs in Lord's Bank and Ladyville. But these individuals are of a particular hue, right? And so you're looking at it from that point of view where you're saying out, then naturally it raises questions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how did they arrive at this particular decision? On what basis? Was the bus owner given a fair opportunity if there were allegations being made against him? Was he given a fair opportunity to be able to come before the board and explain from his end, what the situation would have been or whatsoever, and then he's given, a fair decision if that were the case. So these are all the things that are taking place in the background that will appear in court. I believe it's in October.
Yeah.
But part of the situation here is the satisfaction, or the lack thereof perhaps, that commuters are getting. Because there are those who complain that with the change and the introduction of a new bus company, things have gotten a bit worse in terms of their access to public transportation to and from Belize City and Ladyville. And so you're looking at the situation in the round where you're saying, look, while there's a legal argument that will be had in the courts, the actual commuters who access these services are still kind of up in the air in terms of the satisfaction that they're receiving. So I just figured, it's a conversation to have, because while yes, this affects residents and commuters from Belize City and Ladyville, you have these kinds of situations play out in other avenues as well, where seemingly party politics takes precedence over, I wouldn't say common sense, but they take precedence over certain things that you would think ought to be the proper way things should be done.
Isani, I was listening to this story, and I said, I was wondering what were the allegations that were brought up against Serrano's, and I was thinking about that as the story was playing, And then I believe the Serrano's attorney said it seemed like the decision to not renew the license was already made before these allegations came up. And so you have to wonder why he made, because that's a bold statement in itself, and then also take a look at the layout of certain democratic functions. Does the board get the final say, or does the minister get the final say? And if the minister gets the final say, then why are we here back and forth?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of going through all of this, right? And of course, now there is a lawsuit in place. There's a lawsuit. It's going to be taking, you said October, right?
Yeah.
So from now until October, what will that investigation look like? Will it matter?
Well, in the first instance, they're looking, if leave is granted, they will be looking at the decision and how that process unfolded and what were the considerations that were made that brought them to that particular outcome. I think one of the interesting things that the attorney also mentioned in the interview is the configuration of the transport board, where the members are appointed by the minister. If there is an appeal of any of the decisions, it rests with the minister. Because when you look at the claim form, you have all of these defendants being named, or these respondents being named, right? And it starts from the Minister of Transport all the way down. And so yes, the reason for that is because, as I've mentioned, the attorney is saying, look, everything comes full circle back to this individual, you know? And again, it just goes to show that, you know, perhaps certain functions aren't as autonomous as they should be. If we're looking at having certain bodies, certain statutory bodies in place and what have you, but they would seemingly have the direct or sort of covert influence of the political directorate, then you could see how certain decisions are made or how certain decisions are influenced. Right?
Well, in terms of the commuters and what they think about this new route or this new bus line, I think, and I've said this to Isani before, we have this bad habit of just rolling things out, right? We just let it out and we put it into the public, and then chaos kinds of unfolds without any kind of dual process, or there isn't like an experiment or something to be done before we say, okay, this bus company can run. And that comes back into the seemingly party politics of this all, because if you are going to put somebody in place, you have to make sure that they have the optics to run, right? That they are capable of running, that they are capable of handling these routes. And if they are not, then you have to be able to go back to the drawing board and try again. So what made the decision to put this bus line on the road? Have they not had these kinds of conversations? Have they not had these kinds of optics as to see how they're going to do this route? How well are they going to do this route? Do they have the manpower? Do they have enough buses in order to complete this route? And so I don't know if that's if they had that conversation or not, but you have to be able to have all of those ducks in a row before you start to put in a new bus line, because people are used to a certain thing. If you immediately throw them off, it kind of retaliates against their decisions, right?
I think, April, when you look at the entire picture from a universal point of view, public transportation is a controversial industry. You would recall a couple months ago with the bus owners and the fact that they are being asked to upgrade their fleet of buses because those vehicles that they're using are no longer roadworthy and what have you. And that brought with it its own chaos. That has nothing to do with bus runs per se or road service permit. It has to do with the quality of the experience and the roadworthiness of the buses that they're running. But at the same time, there's always this this bucking of heads, if you want to use that description, between the bus owners and the transport department in terms of them being able to, you know, meet certain requirements or minimum standards, if you want to describe it as such. And so here's a situation where it's different, where we're actually discussing a road service permit being renewed or not renewed for a particular carrier based on certain factors. And again, the minister is on record to say that there were a number of breaches on the part of Serrano's bus, right? And the attorney is also saying, look, well, if you're saying that these are the allegations that were brought against him, and at one point Mr. Serrano appeared in court to answer for a particular charge, that was dropped. The man was cleared of that or whatsoever, so you can't look at it as something where we're still holding it against you if the court, you know, decided that they wouldn't proceed further than the initial allegation brought against him.
I also would like to take it another step further to see what the quality of this new bus line looks like. If there are certain requirements that need to be met and these standards that need to be met, is this bus line operating at those standard levels? And if not, then that is also something else to answer for, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you look at these situations where, while yes, we're pushing for progress in certain sectors, right? You have a lot of people who, forgive the description, get away with the bare minimum, right? Yeah. So while we're pushing in a direction to be able to advance and develop a particular area, there is a minimum threshold where you could say, well, this is the least you would need to have to be able to participate in this particular area of work. And so that's as far as they go. Yeah. They don't say, okay, you know what, let's set a particular standard for everybody else, a benchmark.
Do you think that's a cultural thing, though? You think that that is something that we have here at home, that we do the bare minimum because that's what is required, and that's what we need to do, and that's how we operate?
That's an interesting question, because if we were to sort of move away from this particular topic and look at achievement, for instance, right? You have some who are, you know, if 70 is a passing mark, they work enough to get that 70. Yeah. It's not like they're going to go above and beyond and push themselves to get an 85 or a 90 or whatever. They're comfortable scrape dogging, so to speak, right? But then you also have those who are the overachievers, who believe that sky is the limit, and so they'll push themselves to see how far they can go. And if you put that in the context of industry, right, I think that by setting a particular standard, a certain bar that forces competition to be able to step their game up, then it's better for everybody. I would think that the quality of the experience for the commuters, you know, is improved considerably, that you could sit on a bus, get to where you're going in comfort, you know, you arrive in a timely manner and everything runs smoothly.
I still have to say that as much as I applaud certain efforts of certain bus companies, and I will say the bus companies, because I know that the Ministry of Transport is rolling out these decisions and these new regulations, if you want to call it that, but the monitoring of these buses is still difficult to do. We don't have enough manpower to do it. And so I applaud the efforts of those operators that do keep within those regulations, because the comfort of the commuter does come first. I still definitely take public transportation. And so I can tell you that people still stand up on a bus. The bus is still overcrowded.
Still racing on the road.
They're still racing on the road. They still don't leave on time. They still don't arrive. You know, we still have those issues. And when I saw the beginning of these regulations and the outcry of the people, I was like, yes, we need to be able to stand up for ourselves, etc. And then slowly we just kind of went right back to status quo, right? And that's what the operators wait for. They wait for, you know what, you need we. So you just have to stand up and take your licking at the bus. But now we have this, once again, the transportation is in the eye of the media. And so hopefully we can continue to uphold these operators to the standard that they're supposed to provide for us.
Yes. So yeah, that's the conversation that I wanted to have this morning. Public transportation is it always makes for an interesting discussion
I still
because there's
catch
always
buses,
things
honey.
happening.
I will
There's
always be
nothing wrong with
upset.
catching a bus, right?
No, I will always
But
be upset if I have to stand up from Belmopan to Belize City on an express bus. I will always be upset about that. But
you shouldn't have to,
I shouldn't
endure
have
the
to.
rigors of that.
But it is what it is until we, the people, try to push for that change, right?
Yes. All right, so that brings us to the end of our brief discussion this morning as our Iron and News segment. Of course, we'll continue to follow this particular story as it unfolds. Details of this story and others you will be able to catch at 6 p.m. in our evening newscast. That does it for the Iron and News.
And as we move on with our show for this morning, Isani, we have the weather for our viewers today from the folks at the Met Service. It was relatively hot the past few days, but with a lot of rain in Belmopan. A lot
We had some
of rain.
showers here in Belize today as well at the start of the weekend.
Yeah.
It ended off fairly hot.
Thunder and lightning all the way. I believe it was Friday night, Saturday night. And I don't know if it was Thursday night or so forth, but it kind of messed up our cable at home. And okay. the weather has been a little, weird. I wasn't here for the week, so I have no idea.
I'm surprised you said cable. That's
yes,
in
we
my
still
mind,
watch
that's
cable.
a thing of the past.
Good morning. We have forecaster Francisca Wellington on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, it's Ronald Gordon.
Oh, hi. Good morning, Mr. Gordon. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
All right. Well, it was partly clouded this morning when I left Belmopan. Can you give us the general situation for today?
Yes, we expect conditions to be mainly fair and dry for today, and relatively warm, no?
And
we're looking at mostly sunny skies today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated. However, if you're in the extreme southern Toledo district, you may experience a few more showers and thunderstorms tonight like you did last night.
And our winds, our marine conditions?
Winds are out of the east at 10 to 20 knots, and the sea conditions are moderate.
Right. And our temperatures, our highs and lows for today?
Yes, like I said, relatively warm. We expect highs of about 88 Fahrenheit along the coast, inland about 95 Fahrenheit. And if you happen to be in the mountain pine ridges, it'll be about 82 Fahrenheit. Lows tonight, 82 along the coast, 74 inland, and 68 up in the hills.
And what about our outlook for Monday night and for Tuesday night and Tuesday and Tuesday night, sorry.
Yes, for Tuesday and Tuesday night, we expect similar weather conditions to continue affecting the country.
Any advisories, watches, or warnings?
Currently, no. We had a caution last night, but the winds have diminished slightly, so that caution has been lifted.
Okay. We are currently in the hurricane season at the moment. Are there any developments in the Far East that we can expect?
So we are looking at two systems at the moment. We have Don, which became a hurricane briefly over the weekend, actually the first for the season. It is now downgraded to a tropical storm, and that system is well to the north, in the North Atlantic, and moving into cooler waters. So it's expected to dissipate relatively, or pretty soon, no? And then there is a tropical wave on a broad area of low pressure accompanying that wave a few hundred miles to the east of the Windward Islands. That system had a high chance of developing at one spell, but due to strong vertical wind shear and dry air, those chances have diminished, and we don't expect it to become a tropical depression anymore. However, it will bring gusty winds and some heavy showers to the islands on Tuesday. That system is well, like I said, to the east of the islands and very far from the country at the moment, and won't be in our area until around Saturday Saturday coming now. We will monitor it, but currently it doesn't appear that it will develop into anything significant.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that update, forecaster Gordon, and do have a great day.
Same to you.
All right. And that was our weather update for today. So same weather as yesterday.
Yeah.
And probably the day before, but still weather is unpredictable. We are in the hurricane season. Preparedness is always a conversation to have. And we got to get moving with our show for this morning. We have a lovely lineup for today, beginning with cyber safety and security. We are going to have folks come in to talk about cyber safety and security. I believe you also ran a story on that last week with,
Yes.
with a particular workshop that took place. So we are going to keep that conversation rolling this morning.
Our second conversation this morning, for those of you guys who have been following the under-19 volleyball, we will have the Belize team with us this morning to discuss their experience this year in the particular games that were held. So stick around for that one.
And I'm excited for that conversation. Yes. I wanted to talk about it for What's Buzzing, but I was going to keep it for that segment. And our final segment, we are going to wrap things up with Rotary and their Take a Chance and Give a Chance promotion. So we'll have the folks in to tell us all about that promo and how you can be involved. But we got to take the break. We will be right back to talk to you all about cyber safety and security. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Out.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Honda Navi, a partner you can rely on. Benquip, equipment, parts, service.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Bro, I really think we got this year.
What you mean think? I know we got this year.
We got man like Elijah to come.
That man like dog, they call.
Oh, we have forgot Ian.
And we got we team ready for the war.
We got this, man.
Don't know.
Attention all basketball fans, get ready to witness history as Belize proudly hosts its first ever junior national team competition, the FIBA Under-17 Central Basket Championship. The Belize Civic Center will come live with sounds of squeaking sneakers, thunderous dunk, and electrifying three-pointers. Don't miss a single moment of action as these young athletes showcase their skills on the hardwood. This is your chance to experience the thrill of international competition as 18 from across the region battle it out to the Central Basket Championship and a chance to qualify for the Under-18 FIBA Americas Championship. Get ready to cheer on and be part of the roaring crowd that will motivate our boys to give it their all as they match up against powerhouse teams like El Salvador, Panama, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Jamaica. So mark your calendar and make sure to secure your tickets for the unmissable event. From July 26th to July 30th, the Belize Civic Center will enter the stage for basketball greatness. Stay tuned to our social media pages for when tickets go on sale.
KTV The Remix Season 5, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Pony Drive and 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. $3 for children and $5 for adults. Or catch it live on Channel 5, Facebook, and YouTube every Tuesday at 8 p.m. from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Don't miss KTV The Remix Season 5. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
And welcome back for our first conversation. We did say that we are going to be talking all about cyber safety and security, Isani. And we have with us, joining us from St. Michael, Barbados, Miss Stacey Russell, and she is a journalist and a Get Safe Online ambassador. So good morning, Stacey. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us all the way from Barbados.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're talking all about cyber safety and security, and we're entering now into this very strange era of technology and innovation. You have to be able to be tech savvy. You have to be able to have the latest gadgets in order to keep up with this brave new world, right? But with that comes, of course, its challenges. Talk to us about what it means to be secured in cyberspace.
Well, first of all, I would say that we have to be alert. You know, we can't take anything for granted. You know, when we're online, sometimes we tend to think that we're in a different world from the real world, but our real lives actually do extend to the online world, and therefore we have to be just as careful in terms of how we're operating. So for instance, on social media, we shouldn't overshare. We shouldn't give out certain kinds of information that can then be used to get into our accounts, whether they be emails, whether they be those same online accounts, whether they be in relation to shopping online, for instance. The old saying goes, don't talk to strangers. And we apply this to people who we can physically see every day, for instance. So we have to go even the extra mile when operating online, when people are faceless and they might be presenting themselves in a way that is totally untrue.
I often, when you say don't overshare, or when you say don't, don't put everything from your life online. But then that goes back to this new world that I was talking about, where we market through influencers.
Yeah.
We market through these persons literally putting everything that they have of themselves online. So how can people like that stay safe? How do we remain safe? The minute you put your name into a particular application, it's already out there. So how can we remain safe when we're doing these kinds of transactions, or when we're using these influencers online to market?
Well, first of all, when you're utilizing any kind of app, you have to create a password. And one of the first things to do is to create a strong password, usually in terms of telling you how many cards. For instance, don't use your name. We're just talking about using your name. Don't use your name. Don't use names of your family, your children. Don't use birth dates, for instance, milestones like your anniversary and so forth. Find something generic. Find something that might not even be a proper word in the dictionary. You can come up with different parts of different words and still be able to utilize your special characters in there in terms of creating these passwords that would become a little harder for people to crack. And then go the extra mile as well with what we call multi-factor authentication. So besides putting in that password, have another step where you have to have, for instance, a code sent to your phone, or using some kind of authenticator app to complete the process of signing into these applications. And if you don't have that device, then you can't sign in. I mean, someone shouldn't be able to physically come to your house unless you're leaving the doors and the windows unlocked to come in and take your device. So the multi-factor authentication helps. And you were talking about influencers and sharing so much of their lives online. They themselves have to be careful in terms of how much they share. For instance, I would see on Instagram, when people are traveling, they say that, they're in Spain or they're in Italy or they're some place away from home. And it's fine to do that. But one of the things that, for instance, I live by is not sharing that kind of information in real time, so that it does not give even, the real life thief the chance to perhaps want to break into your home when you are not there. And again, these are similar principles in terms of what you would do in real life that you apply to your online life. You lock the door, you don't leave the window open, you lock the door as well, the window as well, and the same thing you do, which is similar to the multi-factor authentication. So you leave no point of entry open. Because it's actually, I must say this, it's actually been shown that one of the easiest ways of people hacking into an account is through one's password, because people do not create strong enough passwords, or they have a way of giving it away. Just like how you wouldn't give away your credit card information online, you should not be sharing your password.
What are your thoughts on what I would describe as universal passwords, where you're using one password across various apps and what have you?
It's an absolute no. Please don't do it. You should have a different password for every account. I know it's very difficult for us to remember various passwords. I have the difficulty where sometimes I don't remember the password. And some things you can employ. You either write them down and put them in a safe place. Just like how you would lock away your jewelry, for instance, in the house. Put them in a safe place. Or you work out a system where you're adding certain characters or certain numbers to tell you, well, this particular password is for Facebook, this one is for Instagram, this one is for my work email, and so on and so forth. And then the other thing I do, I simply create a new password every time I'm about to log in somewhere. And sometimes that happens because I simply cannot remember it. Or if I find that a month, 2 months, 3 months have gone by and I've not changed that password, I simply change it. You touch the tab that says forget password and you start again. It might be inconvenient, but it's safe.
This is at a sort of personal or individual level. But what about at a corporate level where you're dealing with businesses or organizations that have sensitive information that they're using to transact with online and what have you? What about in that particular space? What are some of the safeguards and the fail-safes that should be put in place to prevent any kind of a cyber attack?
Well, many of the same principles that apply to one's personal life would apply to the workplace. As you know, in this region, in the Caribbean region, we have really been coming under much attack in businesses. We are facing issues of ransomware and so forth. And a lot of this happened because employees are doing things that they should not do, which if they were applying some of the principles to their personal life, they would also apply to their professional life in the workplace. The same issue with the password, not clicking on strange links. I can go back to another old saying that curiosity kills the cat. Sometimes we are so curious about things. We want to know about X, Y, or Z, and we get emails from strange places, and we want to know what it's about, and we're clicking on it. Please do not click on strange links. Look at the email address that some emails have come from. See if it looks authentic before even clicking through. Ask your fellow co-workers, ask a supervisor, a manager, if a particular email on a particular topic, for instance, has been sent out before you check anything. And I would say to the managers, you have to train your staff. For instance, when you're onboarding new staff, you're training them about the various systems in the workplace so that they can become the most productive employees. Training has to go into cybersecurity as well, in terms of handling a company's sensitive information, as you say. So the passwords, not clicking on links, and simply being so guarded about giving out information about the company that can then be used against it in some kind of attack, I would say are the top things to think about. Obviously, corporations, firms, small businesses, they also have to be thinking about their architecture, their systems, and they will be able to consider the best or what at least they can afford in terms of IT systems to keep themselves safe. And Get Safe Online actually has a website that is dedicated to Belize, and both individuals and businesses can go on there and find numerous tips as to how to keep themselves safe. I can share that information with you in terms of the web address.
Let's get into Get Safe Online. And as a journalist, I understand that there is a significant reason why you or you began this particular initiative. So let's talk about Get Safe Online and why the need for this new venture.
Well, actually, this is a venture that is not necessarily new. It has been going on now for a number of years, and it emerges out of the United Kingdom. And it's a not-for-profit organization that has been bringing its expertise to various parts of the Caribbean and Africa and the Pacific as well. And it emerged because of what we're talking about, the growing trend of, people not knowing how to navigate on the internet. And it's a way of, giving back to society, giving back to communities that might not have the tools, might not be in the know as to how to keep themselves safe. And it's an organization that is driven by ambassadors throughout various territories in Barbados, throughout the Caribbean, in other places in Africa, the Pacific that I have mentioned. And they get funding, and they have the people who have come on board and who would work with ambassadors like myself to provide the information, the content that we then share, whether it be one-on-one, whether it is in small groups, in schools, in community groups, with families, with church groups, and then here, a forum on television. I just happen to be a journalist, but there are people of varying backgrounds who are involved.
Given the recent leak to the dark web in Belize, how can you tell if your accounts have been compromised, and what can you do about it thereafter?
Sometimes you just can't tell if your account has been compromised unless, you're seeing strange activities, perhaps. For instance, some of your friends might be reporting that they're getting emails from you that you know that you haven't sent. I've actually had the experience, which is one of the experiences that prompted me to get involved with Get Safe Online, of unwittingly giving away my password. And then because it was a password that was used across various platforms that I use, one of the hackers actually asked my friends for money, purporting to be myself, saying that I was stranded somewhere abroad and I needed help to get home. So if certain strange things are happening, friends are reporting things to you, colleagues are reporting things to you that, you haven't done. For instance, you might see a clone of your account or something like that. Either shut your account down or change your password. That is some of the simplest things that I can say. There is actually some websites that you can check to see if your email address, for instance, that have been compromised, and perhaps that is the farthest that one can go in terms of knowing for sure if something untoward has been going on. But otherwise, I think you will see clues. You will know. You sometimes see your friends come on Facebook and say, if you receive a friend request from me, it hasn't come from me, or something like that. Because you can tell, I think, if you're paying close attention, that some strange things are happening with your online account. And you have to look after your mobile devices, all the devices that you are using. When apps are prompting you to update, do that software update, please do the update as soon as possible. Because the companies that are running the various applications, they themselves are at least taking some kind of responsibility to create what they call a patch, some kind of loophole in their own system that they have worked to correct. So pay attention, do those updates.
Talk to us about data recovery in a situation where there's been perhaps a hack and a leak. How do you get back some of the information that is perhaps critical to certain functions that you're undertaking?
Well, sometimes that is near impossible, especially if it's a ransomware attack where, the attacker is saying, well, you have to pay up. You have to give us some money before, we will even unlock your devices or release your data. And that's why backing up your data every day is so important. You can use backups that are built into the various apps that you are using. Even something as simple as WhatsApp, you have the option of backing up, your messages, the data that you send and receive over a period of time. You can also use external backup facilities, whether you're using, some kind of disk, something as simple as a flash drive. It doesn't have to be complicated. But then, of course, for businesses that are handling a large volume of data, large volumes of information, they really and truly should have this built in to their systems in terms of backing up data, backing up information, because they're handling people's information, they're handling people's data. And whilst in the Caribbean, we are still behind, the rest of the world, especially the places like the United Kingdom, European Union, in terms of how we handle data and the legislation that drives this and fines that companies can incur if they do not handle data in the best way. We need to start. We do not need to wait for the legislation. We need to understand that, it's been said that data is the new oil in terms of mining it and what can be derived from it. And we have to be sensitive in terms of how we keep it, how we safeguard it, and back it up every day in a separate place from your regular devices that you're using.
In terms of
your servers.
certain institutions, and I'll go as far as to say certain banks, so forth. Just the other day, there were some credit cards that were hacked, monies were being taken out, and so forth. And as you said, back up your data. You have all of this wall protection, but even in the strongest of cases, what can we do about these kinds of situations where somebody can take out an entire bank institution and hack several accounts?
Again, this goes back to the safeguards that institutions, especially those large-scale institutions that do have the financial resources to invest in the architecture to protect their customers' information, they need to prioritize this. It cannot be taken for granted. It has to be ingrained in the system of how operation is done. And then for the individuals, when it comes to, for instance, doing your online shopping and so forth, and doing your online banking, I would say as far as possible with your credit card information, try not to let them be stored on the website. First of all, ensure that you're using reputable websites to shop from. We have so many new online companies popping up, and some of them could literally just be popping up for the purpose of harvesting people's information.
Yeah.
Shop from reputable places that perhaps have now or over the years have extended their existence to be online. And this is not to, not new and up and coming businesses, but they themselves will have to be proving themselves as reputable organizations, small businesses for you to shop from. They have to have secure networks that they're operating from. Their websites have to be secure first. So that's one of the first things I would say. And then don't store your information in there. Sometimes it's a hassle, but every time you go to do the shop, be prepared to put the credit card information. Do not let it be stored on the website. For instance, there's something that I do personally in terms of my online banking. I turn off all online transactions unless and until I'm about to do an online transaction. So these are features in the online banking apps that you can manipulate, the security features to keep yourself safe. I also turn off international transactions unless I'm about to do an international transaction. You can turn it on, you can turn it off at will. So those are some of the things that the individuals can do. And for businesses, they have to prioritize and they have to invest.
In terms of, and this is one of the more, I think, sensitive questions. Children are on the internet all day, every day now. COVID pushed us into a space where we need to be online. So the same devices that they're using to play Minecraft are the same devices that they're using to do their homework, right? So how can we keep our children safe from these kinds of online cyber attacks and in certain ways where, links that don't need to be there pop up, ads that don't need to be there pop up, and they click those things. They're children, so how can we protect them as well as their devices?
They're children, but they're quite smart. Yes. So many of them can maneuver this online world and these apps and these devices better than us, the adults. So as we, the adults, are learning, we also have to teach our children. Just like we're teaching them their ABCs, we have to teach them about online safety and security. Just like we will tell them in the real world, don't talk to strangers, we have to have these kinds of conversations online as well. And we know as the teenagers, the tear away years, so to speak, we will want to hide and do things that we don't want mommy and daddy doing, but reiterate what the consequences are. Lock off that device so that they can only maneuver on certain websites. That is possible. Parents have to become proactive in taking these steps, limiting their screen time. And this can also be set on the device. For instance, several people in a family can be using maybe the family computer, and you can have different users on that one device. And for the child, that user can be designed in such a way where they can only be online at certain times. There are certain websites that they can't go on. The settings can be set so that certain adult websites they can't have access to. And you also need to be having those conversations with them about creating strong passwords, two-factor authentication. As a matter of fact, I think the two-factor or multi-factor authentication should go through the parents' device, where that extra layer of getting onto certain sites, that code or that authenticator app should be on the device of the parents, or at least the parent is doing some kind of monitoring.
So just to reiterate all that you have explained to us about online safety, can you leave us with 3 examples as to how we can prevent cyber attacks and how we can continue to be safe on the internet? 3
Number one, creating that strong password.
Yeah.
Creating that strong password. Number two, changing that password as often as possible. As often as possible. And number three, I would say the multi-factor authentication, not just having one option in terms of how you are signing into particular apps, particular websites. And I guess that's also related to one and two, so links or on emails that are sent to you, or even responding to messages from telephone numbers that you are not familiar with. And I didn't raise this earlier on, but this is something that even our local police have put in the public domain as a public service announcement with regards to not responding to messages from strange telephone numbers that might even be coming in the chat or via WhatsApp, because 90% of the time, the majority of the time, when something goes wrong, it has to do with some kind of action or inaction that a person, an individual, a human being has done or has not done. And the hackers are just there waiting so that they can pounce.
Well, Stacey,
whenever we slip up.
Any final words before we wrap up our segment this morning for our viewers to know?
I would like to encourage your viewers, especially those in Belize, to check out the website, the Get Safe Online website that is dedicated to Belize. I'm just here quickly looking at my notes. It's www.getsafeonline.bz. www.getsafeonline.bz, and they are going to find a wealth of information on that website that applies to both individuals and businesses, and to children. You asked about, special groups, children, elderly, and so forth, in terms of how they can keep themselves online. And remember that the online world is even more dangerous than the physical world. And some of the principles in terms of sharing information, not sharing information, that we apply to the physical world when we're interacting with people who we see and feel and touch every day, we need to go even an extra mile when it comes to maneuvering online.
Stacey, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate this conversation. The online world is more dangerous than the physical world. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
And with that, we are going to take our next break, and we'll be back with the female volleyball U19 team. They celebrate their silver medal, Isane. So we have them in studio with us, joining us right after this break. Stay with us.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Tech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Get between Belize City, Key Cocker, and San Pedro on a ferry faster than anyone else with Caribbean Sprinter. You better Belize it. Get with us online at sprinter.bz.
When hungry or craving, when laughter or tears, enjoy the best snacking or flavors are here. Asadas, bocadas, chiladas, doradas, Belizean for snacking, done right and done here.
Done right, done here. How does investment services work? For example, Joe's Construction wants to expand its operations by purchasing new equipment and hiring additional staff. How can Joe's Construction get an investment loan? The answer: Investment Services appraises the loan application and focuses on two key areas: adequate collateral and repayability. Investment Services will also consider how Belizeans and the economy will benefit from this new investment through job creation and business growth. The terms and conditions for Joe's Construction loan will be based on the purpose and cash flow. After recommendation and approval, the loan is disbursed. SSB remains committed to proper management of the fund through prudent and responsible investments for the benefit of its beneficiaries, employers, and the Belizean economy. Social Security Board, an investment for you, your family, your future.
KTV The Remix Season 5, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Pony Drive and 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. $3 for children and $5 for adults. Or catch it live on Channel 5, Facebook, and YouTube every Tuesday at 8 p.m. from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Don't miss KTV The Remix Season 5. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
And welcome back. We've switched things up a bit.
Yes.
We'll go with our good friend, Miss Mala Vasquez. She's the past president of the Rotary Club of Belize for our second segment.
Yes.
And Mala is here to talk to us about the latest initiative of the Rotary, which is its raffle, correct?
That is correct.
Good morning, Mala. Good morning.
Good morning, both of you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
You're here in a different capacity
Yes.
because normally when you're here, we're doing wine tasting and all of
There's
these
always
other
a
fun
cheese
stuff.
plate somewhere.
Yeah, so you know, it's they always say you wake up with coffee, you end up with wine.
There you go.
There you go.
But, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Pleasure to have you here
Channel
with us.
5. I love this station. I always feel so good. So hey, wake up in the morning and think about Rotary. So I kind of want to give you a little something, a little background about what Rotarians do.
Sure.
So Rotarians share a unique perspective and passion for taking action, seeing hope in the face of challenges. We've seen a lot of challenges. Where others see problems, our members find solutions and mobilize their communities to bring ideas to life. So with that idea, we have our raffle, right?
Yes.
So with this 1,000 tickets, so our catch is 1,000 tickets.
Okay.
Everybody knows that the prices of everything, from basic food stuff to, hey, even getting fuel in your car to get to work has gone up. So the price of the cars and the pickups have gone up, but we've stayed with that $100.
Okay.
Stayed with that $100 and stayed with the 1,000 tickets. So you have a chance, 1 in 1,000. What does this car raffle do? So we have maybe 2 or 3. We have 2 car raffles. Hopefully, we kind of want to do the third one if we can, because we have so many things that we need to undertake. One, it's a Gift of Life program. I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
You can see it. As a matter of fact, we have the clinics coming on in August at the Lions Clinic, of course. All those parents out there with children with heart problems, please contact your physicians so they can refer you to us, make your appointments, they know where to go. On the website, Gift of Life website, connect, somebody's always there to answer. So that's our flagship program. But we do other things. We do feeding programs. Remember, school's coming on. Feeding programs, scholarships, wheelchairs, playgrounds, and of course, building houses. I mean, we do all of that. Where do we get the money from? We're not a business. And everybody, every Rotarian takes it upon themselves to do this. It's a voluntary job. You do this for the good of society. So I think you can see the good that we've done. If you've gone around Belize, you've seen playgrounds with a rotary wheel, and it's all over the country. So we partner with our other Rotary clubs. You have the Rotary Club of Belmopan, you have Dangriga, you have Sunrise. So everybody, the idea is Rotary is about making our community a better place.
Yeah.
Now we also have our very own district governor from Belize, Maria Price. She is the 3rd woman to be district governor of District 4250, which is Guatemala, Honduras, and Belize. So it's a big deal for us, and this is her big initiative. So she's going to go around and say, hey, this is the raffle, promote it, you know, and let's do the good that we can do, that we always do.
The proceedings of this raffle will go to all of these projects?
So the proceedings of this will go to the Gift of Life. It'll go to the wheelchair. It'll go to the project. So it's part of the project committee. So Gift of Life, wheelchair, playgrounds, scholarships, house building. That's just a few of them. But there are other soft projects that we take on that we don't talk about, but maybe we should. Right? So support Rotary.
So the
support your car raffle.
Rotary has been in existence in Belize since 1950?
Oh, I think we celebrated 65 years in Belize.
65, wow.
Wow.
So
Going on to the 66th year, pretty much. So it's with, I think the members were Johnny Searle, Ken McField, John Crump. They were all there. I mean, we used to have Ken McField. You know, he used to be our historian. You know, he used to collect all these photos. So we're hoping that along with Rene Sr., that we can have a part of Rotary's history also displayed at the Niche Museum. Because I think, you know, it's a big deal.
It warrants,
it's a big deal.
yes.
It's a big deal, yeah.
So when you look at 65 years of Rotarian involvement in Belize, in its development, in the development of its people, what would you think, or what would you say are some of the milestone achievements over the course of that 65-year period?
For one, BERT was an initiative of Rotary. We sit on the board of Colby, the Gift of Life project. The Stella Maris was Rotary's first initiative. So thank God Belize is so small, it's in your face.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. So, and you know what? I think this year, our Rotary International president has focused on mental health. You know, we keep on saying, hey, how are you? But we don't wait to listen to your answer. Now we have to ask people, how are you really? Because we forget that. We're so caught up in our own lives that somebody may be smiling but having a really bad day. So I think Rotary also takes on that aspect. Those are the soft things, the soft touches that we do that nobody hears about. But it is the focus of this year, and we are going to work very closely and make sure that, hey, mental health is uppermost.
Agreed. When we're talking about Rotary and all of its efforts and initiatives and, you know, focusing on mental health, how does your membership continue to thrive? And I ask this because, as you said, there's so many challenges that have been happening throughout the years. How do you and Rotary support your membership to keep that hope and to continue to give back?
So this is what we do. You know, we try to bring in younger ones to come in. Hey, I've been in Rotary, let me see, about maybe 35 years as Rotary spouse and now Rotarian for the last 8-10 years. So it's time to bring in the younger ones and let them come in. So we have Rotary initiatives like Bring One, you know, bring 2 members, bring the younger ones, let them see what we're all about. They come to a couple of meetings, they go to our projects. So they see usually it's the projects that will motivate the younger ones. You know, and a lot of times it's always the fees of Rotary that keep you back. But
there's a certain perception perhaps that the club, the movement is made up of a certain...
Used to be, you're right. So initially, Paul Harris created the Rotary Club. It was a businessman's club. He got together for lunch one day and 5 of them got together and said, hey, so what can we do for our fellow men less fortunate than us? So it was established as a Rotary, a businessman's club. But, you know, changes, everything, there's an evolution. So it's become from a businessman's club to a professional club. I mean, anybody can be a member. The thing is, you have to be motivated. So we bring the younger ones, get them to meet all of us. Yeah, some of us are old, but hey, we're the history. We're the history. We've built the path. It is for you now to continue it and build other crossroads, build other paths. So we bring the new ones, bring them in, encourage them, let them see our projects. And, you know, all of us need to pay Rotary International. What does Rotary International, how do they make these fees work? Polio, the eradication of polio, how does it work? If we didn't contribute to it, nothing would happen. So if all of us contribute $1 for every week, 52 weeks, we can kill polio. You know, now polio is back with 4 or 5 cases, but that too will move. But along with that come other things. But there are also other obligations. I mean, look at us. We have a government. We all pay our taxes. That's what makes our roads, that gives us security, that brings us other things that we don't see that governments do. So Rotary International pretty much works the same way. So fees you have to pay, but other things can happen. So we bring the younger ones, so there is continuity. We older ones step back, the younger ones take on. So, and they bring new ideas. I mean, right now we have 8 or 9 new members. Oh wow, they're all in their late 20s, early 30s, and I feel good, you know? Yeah.
They come with all the energy and that breath of fresh air.
Correct. We come with the experience, they come with the energy and new ideas. So it's really important to keep it flowing. Yeah.
Well, this raffle is something that is consistent.
Correct.
So let's talk about how I can take a chance and give a chance.
All right. So you have on the website, on the Rotary website, you also have a WhatsApp number, 603 4767 663 0744. You can also pay this online, and we can get the ticket to you. And we have so many Rotarians out here. I mean, contact your favorite Rotarian. We are going to have tickets at Madisco. So along with buying your wine, you can buy your ticket. We have other things there too, but yes. So contact your favorite Rotarian, look at our Rotary website, and you have a WhatsApp number, right? And we're pretty good at delivering tickets. And remember that this will be raffled on August 31st. So we want it to be quick because we have quite a few projects that we want to complete. We have 12 children that we want to send out. And you have other things. You have the wheelchairs that people keep on asking about. You have the houses. You have the children.
So when you raffle that, when you choose the winner on August 31st, I get the truck the same day too?
Yes, you can. No, usually then it would be BEC would step in.
Yes.
Because remember, all those things need to be done. Ownership and insurance and
but
all
what
of that.
am I winning, Miss Mala? Are we talking about the raffle, but you're not telling me what I get?
A 2023 Ford Ranger XL. It's a 2.0L 4CYL. You're better at this. Come on.
Okay.
You guys better at this.
We need to have them bring it up on the screen. We need to have them.
4-cylinder turbo diesel. Does it have 4-wheel drive?
I know, right? It has 4-wheel drive. It's got to have 4-wheel drive.
But look at that. This is what you are getting. And I mean, I love it. Last year, I think we had, yes, you guys do this every year. And I believe I was asking about all of the gadgets and the whizzes that come with the truck.
Yeah, you can soup it up too. If you want to change it, it's between you and
diesel
BC.
Diesel is the cheaper of the fuels.
You know, yeah, strangely enough in Belize.
Yes.
But everywhere else, diesel is more expensive.
And so
yeah.
$100 for a 2003 Ford Ranger, and it is beautiful. So I mean, I see you guys.
It is on display right now.
Yeah, I see you guys have it out.
Right.
By the Brody's, right?
Yes.
Right. So take a look, touch it, feel it, buy a ticket.
I think that's what you need. I think I need to go eat. I need to touch it. I need to sit in it. I need to say, okay, is this?
I don't know if they'll allow you to sit in it, but you can.
$100 for this. I think I will take.
You can walk around the vehicle looking.
Take some pictures for the Instagram.
Yep. So buy a ticket. You will change somebody's life, and that's what's important.
It is. And August 31st is when you are going
August
to
31st.
All right.
Yep.
Any final words about the raffle, Miss Mala?
WhatsApp numbers are on the website. You can contact me at Madisco. You can even contact me on my cell phone, 610-2299. That's how serious we are about Rotary. We make sure that everybody is responsible. All Rotarians are responsible for selling tickets, and the quicker we get this, we can even draw it earlier.
And you said we can pay online. Which bank account?
You can pay online on Atlantic Bank.
Okay.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we can even arrange for you, if you prefer to pay it through Belize Bank, we will also give you a Belize Bank number.
Okay.
So when you contact that WhatsApp number, they will give you a choice, if that's what you prefer.
And of
so
course,
buy your tickets,
snap
you know.
the picture of the receipt, send it to the WhatsApp
Yes,
account.
and then we'll send the ticket to you, or you pick it up from somewhere. Or I remember that the last week was frantic when we were selling tickets. We sold the tickets at, I think, about 10 days prior to the drawing date. And then you had people who said, you know, I bought 10 tickets. I haven't even put it in the box yet. So we said, okay, you want to sell it to somebody? And they said, yes, I'll pay for the ticket, but you can resell the tickets.
Wow.
And that's what happened, you know. And what we did was, because you had people, the Mennonite community helps us a lot. And because they are also recipients, their children are part of Gift of Life. You had parents who got, you know, who helped. You had families who benefited from Rotary, got houses, parents who got scholarships for their children. The families got together and paid $10 each, $25 each, and supported Rotary. So that was fantastic, you know. And we want companies to do it. Encourage your staff members, encourage your colleagues to make better somebody's life.
One in 1,000.
1 in 1,000.
Probability.
And create change. We can do that. Buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket, contact Ms. Mala, contact the WhatsApp numbers on the screen, contact my disco, get your ticket, and, you know, save a life. Really and truly, because that is what Gift of Life does.
That's right. That's what we do.
All right, Ms. Mala, thank you so much for coming in this morning. $100 a ticket, guys. The drawing is on August 31st, and you can walk away with a Ford Ranger, 2023 Ford Ranger. Gotta brew this and look on it. Trust me, it's encouragement.
Yes, yes.
Well, we're going to take the break, Ms. Mala. Thank you so much for coming in. And we're going to have the young ladies from the U19 female volleyball team join us this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
WestTrack Limited is committed to working hard every day to ensure you get the right products at the most affordable price. We strive to have the greatest selection of quality, affordable, and timely products and services that will enhance your personal or corporate lives. With an extensive line of products, we'll be sure to have what you need. For even faster service, you can contact us on Facebook, WhatsApp, or by email. We look forward to seeing you come through our doors at your nearest WestTrack branch today.
The Belize Tourism Board, Mars Production, and Belican present the biggest show to hit the jewel we call Belize. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0. Join us on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th at the Marion Jones Stadium with live performances by Morgan Heritage, the dancehall queen Spice,
Me's a girl, me no fight over man.
Busy Signal,
Afro
Afrobeat sensation Rotimi, the biggest dancehall artist for 2023, Byron Messiah, alongside Skinny Fabulous, Jadelle, Earth and Owls, Mr. Warming Up Adam O, and Lyrica. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0, July 29th and 30th. Come savor the rhythm as we pair music with the best of Belizean cuisine. Sponsors are Belize Tourism Board, Belican, Niche, Pop, ICB, Wine Smith, eCash, Dolphin Production, DigiWallet, Channel 5, Love FM, Creme Radio, Channel 7, Vibes Radio, Fiesta FM, and OYE Radio.
KTV The Remix Season 5, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Pony Drive and 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. $3 for children and $5 for adults. Or catch it live on Channel 5, Facebook, and YouTube every Tuesday at 8 p.m. from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Don't miss KTV The Remix Season 5. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the short code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
And welcome back to our final segment for this morning. And we have with us members of the U19 female volleyball team, our champions, our silver medalists this morning. We have Miss Dejalyn Turton and Miss Kaylee Cardenas on set. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All of a sudden, the energy just gone. How do you feel? And I know you said everybody be asking that question, but really and truly, how does it feel?
It feels exciting. Exciting, but I feel like we could have done better.
Every person is their own worst critic.
But I agree with what you're saying, simply because for those of us who have been following the progress of the tournament, there was a part where you were struggling to get on the podium. It's not even about medaling first or second with gold and silver respectively, but to be on the podium itself. And I think that for some of us was a nail biter to see how the team would have performed to get to that point. So let's start there. Let's talk about, being in a situation where we describe it as do or die, because that's basically what it was, right? Let's start with you, Kelly.
In order to have gotten a medal, we needed to win 4 games. 4 out of the 6 that we had to play. And meeting these teams and seeing how they played was a bit, challenging thereabout. But my team was capable of doing it, and I believed in them, and we believed in ourselves.
When you're looking at all of these other teams, and you guys have played against these teams before, what was your takeaway from the first game that you had, and how you were looking to move on through the week?
Well, we definitely said that we couldn't underestimate any team because you never know what they had in store.
Right.
But we had to stay confident and just make sure we had fun to make sure we can do what we need to do.
You're looking at the competition. What were some of the weaknesses and strengths that you saw from the team players?
From our team players?
From theirs.
From theirs. Well, from theirs, there were certain special things that you had to pay attention really closely to see, that if you saw them, then you'd have to put that towards when you played them, just to make sure that you can get your gold or whatever you want to get.
My biggest question, I don't follow volleyball as much as I should perhaps, but every time there's a competition, you hear Costa Rica as this unbeatable force in volleyball. What does it take, or what would it take for our team here in Belize to be able to go up against any of Costa Rica's teams and be able to succeed?
Costa Rica has a strong female program, so it will take a lot of, I don't think it's more like skill, because we have the skill, it's more like mentality. We need to strengthen our minds and put it that, okay, we could do it and that we will do it.
I like that you went there, because I think that for other sports outside of Belize, there is a significant amount of funding that it takes to put into some of these girls. They're basically training them to be, this is going to be their career, really and truly. So when we're looking at volleyball, are you both interested in making this your lifetime career?
Well, yes and no at the same time.
Yes and no at the same time.
Let's hear it.
Yes, what? Yes.
Because for one, yes, if you excel to a certain level, you can make money from it. But then, also at the same time, you'd want to be stable. So just to make sure, I would keep it leveled.
Okay. So she can be an accountant and play volleyball, is what you're saying.
Lawyer
And play volleyball. So, okay, my biggest question, Guatemala. Tell me about the game. I was not there, I just watched it. I really, the hype in the arena and the stadium was insane. Tell us about that game and what it meant for our team to win this.
Well, I think it meant a lot. It meant one of the big reasons why we made it on the podium and why we blew Guatemala off the podium. And I feel that we fought really hard in that game. And how do I explain it? People underestimated us, especially when we got into the 5th set, where it was 10-13. People started saying, oh, it's over, it's done. But we came back up.
Picked up and left.
Yes.
But
So
playing this
rallied
game
from behind to come back and win.
Playing this game came with a lot of country pride, so we knew we had to win it for our country.
And when you see the fan base, behave in that manner, how do you mentally pick yourselves up and continue going?
Just ignore that and remember why we're there.
What are some of now that you're done for this season, what is next? What is the next step for the U19 volleyball team?
I think because we came in second, there's the Nurseka one. I think it's next year. But it'll be a different set of girls because
Will no longer be under 19.
Yeah, that. Like 5 of us are already 18. So we won't be able to qualify for it. So then it will be a different set going to the Nurseca.
And what advice do you have for those girls that are going to now pick up this mantle and going to have the same expectations now that you are now silver medalists, what the expectations are going to be like for them?
Just go out there and play with heart, that's all.
You know, yeah, go ahead.
So the next time around for your second one, you guys said you won't qualify based on your age and other factors. But what's next for you beyond where you are right now? I think that's part of the question that April was asking. Yeah. Where do you go from here?
For me, there is the senior team, the U21, U23, different age groups.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of still stuck in the same age category, especially because of my age. So I stay
you
where I am.
You will be playing in that.
Yes, for many years to come.
For many years to come. Can I ask how old you are?
13.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yes.
Wait. Okay, I'll stop. And you were a libero?
Yes.
And you're here like, oh no, it's okay, not a big deal. Wow, that is a very big deal. Youngest member on the team?
Yes.
Wow, this is a very big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish I knew this before to say. You are going to be in this for years to come, so that means you are going to be one of the founders to train these other girls that are coming in. So tell me, how is it that you've been gearing up for this match, and how can you assist other girls coming forward?
I think that I had to mentally prepare myself before because I don't think I was mentally prepared before. And I had to work on things that I had personally that I need to deal with. But I feel like if we work together, the future teams to come, if we work together and talk to each other and make sure everybody, I feel that everybody could work together and do something good.
What was this experience like for you guys? I know there was sufficient training that went into preparing yourselves ahead of the tournament itself. What was that like in terms of either strengthening your unity or building that unity going into the competition?
Well, the training most definitely brought us together a lot, especially with a bunch of team bonding things that we had done. But the training had also showed us that how to play together as a team based on like if the outside hitter was doing something, then the libero knows that the libero needs to run up or something like that. So we kind of grew and knew how to work around each other and all the gears just aligned. Yeah.
How long have you been playing volleyball?
Since I was born.
Since
my mom was in another country while I was in her stomach.
Wow. That is absolutely wonderful in its own way, because then what was it like playing with these wonderful superstars that have done this for so long as well?
Well, it was different at times, but then I also felt welcomed and at home because they didn't treat me differently. So it was really nice.
First competition?
Second.
Second.
When I was 9, I had gone to Costa Rica for a U13.
Who are these kids? I am in complete shock and awe, and just super proud that you all have been able to walk away with silver medal, and then next year you'll come back and sit down with my coach and walk halfway with a gold. Yes? Yes? You have to say it on TV.
Of course.
Okay, great. In light of the U19 female volleyball, and there are going to be other competitions and do you continue practicing after this? Do you continue training after this? It doesn't stop.
No, it does not.
How do you balance this and school? You're just going to high school. How are you balancing this life and school?
Well, I guess it doesn't really distract me much, especially because I've had to manage it my whole life as well. So doing it wasn't really a hassle. I mean, I just learned time management really well over the years.
To college, and you've been doing this, and you're going to college. How do you manage this balance here?
I just have a good schedule. I know to balance my time out and everything. And then I normally take 8 o'clock classes. Leading up to this tournament, before school had closed, I had to attend morning practice at like 6:30 to 7:30, showered, and then reach at school for 8 o'clock. So it took a lot of preparedness, but I did it.
What would you like to see the future of volleyball in Belize be like? What do you hope for?
That we have a stronger mindset and that we do devour Costa Rica.
What has been the support from you guys, from your families and your friends and people who are perhaps equally as enthusiastic about volleyball?
The support has been really great, actually, especially from my family, because I grew up playing the sport my whole life, and my mom, she was a really big support system through that whole thing, and people around me as well have also brought me up and encouraged me to keep playing the sport because they believe I can do something.
Has been the biggest support through it all, especially my mom. She's been there through it.
So when did you decide then that you wanted to get into volleyball? What has that journey been like for you?
So although she's younger than me, she's been playing for longer than I have.
Oh, wow.
So she's 13. I started around 13 as well.
Okay.
So I've been playing for about 5 years consistently.
Always been an outside hitter?
No.
Okay.
I started as a setter, and then for the 2 national teams that I've been on, I've been a libero. This is my first one as an outside hitter. So I just run around, play different positions.
Now that we are done with this, we are happy. We have made Belize proud and we've put ourselves on a different map. For the girls that are coming up that want to play volleyball, or maybe, like me, I don't think I could play volleyball. Give me advice. What would you say to somebody that wants to pursue this sport but doesn't feel like they can?
Even though it seems hard at first and you can't get something on the first try, you keep trying and you will most definitely get it.
It's a competitor's
spirit.
Spirit. Give it your best shot. Ladies, I am so proud, and from everyone in Belize, I think, I don't know how much they have stopped saying congratulations, right? But congratulations, you're going to be hearing that for the rest of this week, for the rest of the year, I think. And
what is being planned for you guys?
Yes.
I know that normally if there's a gold medal, there's a motorcade, but this is as close as we get to it. Is there anything planned to celebrate your victory?
Not that I know of, but as a team, we're planning to attend KTV tomorrow night.
There we go.
And then we have a dinner planned before that. Then we go to KTV. And then we're planning different things as a team, like within ourselves to do.
So KTV, the remix, will see the
Yes,
U19
yes.
volleyball team.
Front row seats, right?
Front row seats. And I get to see all your favorite performers. I don't have one in mind. I don't have one already. I don't have one to win.
Hopefully.
Oh my gosh, ladies. Well, we're so happy to have you here this morning, and we're going to be so happy to have you there tomorrow. So thank you so much for coming in. Any final words for your fans, your supporters, the viewers that we have here this morning?
Thank you for all the support, most definitely.
Thank you for the support indeed. You guys did make a difference.
Thank you, ladies. We are going to take our final break for the morning, and we'll be back for wrap-up. Stay with us.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the shark code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste, no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
It's good to keep the environment clean. BSWAMA, step up the pace. They're going places to manage your waste. So make we stand and make well sure. No garbage left on the seashore. The whole of Belize we stay clean, cause we know say worth much more. We have pretty environment. So when you see the garbage on the ground, go off me and just bag it on.
Cleanliness has always been second nature to us, so let's work together to keep our surroundings beautiful and healthy.
No garbage in it. KTV The Remix Season 5 every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Pony Drive and 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. $3 for children and $5 for adults. Or catch it live on Channel 5, Facebook, and YouTube every Tuesday at 8 p.m. from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Don't miss KTV The Remix Season 5. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
And welcome back. We are wrapping things up, Isani, this morning. We had 3 wonderful segments. We started off with cyber safety and security. I don't think we think about it as much. I think that we download apps, we put in our information, and the rest is history. We don't really think about the safety and security aspect, the way we should anyway.
Well, you'd be surprised that there is some sort of thought that is given to it, but the action,
yeah, to keep it safe.
You could be fully aware that, you know what, anything goes on cyberspace.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of the information you're putting out there. You think about it, but when you get carried away in certain activities, it becomes an afterthought and you just proceed to spill your life, your personal information, and all of these other things that, you know, in the grand scheme of things can come back and haunt you.
I mean, we had the Get Online, Safe Online ambassador, Stacey Russell, and she said something that I didn't think about until she mentioned it with influencers and persons that, you know, put their lives on display for the world to see. You are gallivanting in another country and you're telling everybody, I'm not home.
Yeah.
Right? And that already gives certain, you know, incentives away, you know, bad mind people out there and so forth. And so I didn't think about that before. I'm like, that's true, you know. You're showing.
It's like giving away your live location.
Yeah.
Right? So you have all of this jewelry, you're flaunting and all of these things, but then your thing says exactly where you are. And then you wonder why things happen.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. And so these are things to think about, to consider when you are putting your life on there, because let's be very real, you will not know what's happening in the world if you are not online. And the world is going to move on without you. So we have to do that as safely as possible. And then, of course, our second segment was with past president Mala Vasquez from the Rotary Club for their Take a Chance, Give a Chance raffle, which is they're raffling a 2023 Ford Ranger with all the gizmos and gadgets and whistles that come with it, $100 per ticket, and they're going to be drafting that raffle August 31st. So if you do want to, you know, take a chance and give a chance, you can contact them on their WhatsApp numbers, and any Rotarian that you may know will have tickets for purchase.
Look, it's $100 per ticket. 1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Your chances of winning that raffle is 1 in 1,000. But if you look at the fact that if you win, you would have only spent $100 for a vehicle that's worth it.
Yeah.
Right? And for a more worthy cause in terms of being able to assist with Rotary's many programs.
Right, and they do have many programs, and I do think that that is what matters, because I was saying, man, if I know we're not sad, but the proceedings go to somebody that can have a better life. So take that chance and
of
contact
course,
Rotary.
You can resell the ticket.
You can, you definitely can. So it all goes back to giving back, which I think that is all that Rotary is about. And we wrapped up our show this morning with the U19 female volleyball team members. I'm still shocked at the 13-year-old. I can't believe that. That is fantastic.
Well, I personally want to once again commend the team. A heartfelt congratulations. We came in second as a country. We knew the competition that we were facing with Costa Rica. We just have to continue working on honing our skills and create a program or a facility that allows these young girls to be able to be formidable in their challenge against Costa Rica in future games.
Absolutely. Like they said, they have the skill. Perhaps they, you know, a better venue to practice, or more time to practice, to hone those skills is necessary. But we are so proud of them. You know, it's always a Belizean pride when this happens, and we see our own, you know, take up that mantle and win. And even though silver medal, it's still a wonderful
considering who we were up against, silver medal.
And I think they were very happy to beat Guatemala, because that was that was one of their teams, right, that they really wanted to beat. So congratulations again to the U19 female volleyball team. We hope more from you next year. And with that, Desani, was our show this morning. We got to go. But before we wrap up, we want to say happy birthday to you. If it is your birthday today, it is July 24th. So happy birthday to you anywhere out there. And if you have a question or a comment, you can drop us a line right here at oye@channel5believe.com. If you can catch our live stream on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, and all of our highlights on Instagram at OYE And of course, you can tune again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you again soon, Belize. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.